If you decided to buy or sell a house with a realtor, you need to sign at least 2 documents before making an offer or listing your home to the MLS. First, working with the realtor, and second, buyer representation agreement or listing agreement are those 2 documents. Your realtor is supposed to explain and have you sign these documents. Be sure to understand and ask for clarification before you sign the document. Today I will explain the first document, working with the realtor. This document explains what it means to work with a realtor and what kind of a contractual relationship you can have with the realtor. Let's get into it. All realtors in Ontario are governed by a law called the Real Estate and Business Brokers Act 2002, REBA 2002, which is enforced by an agency called the Real Estate Council of Ontario. All realtors are required to be registered with RECO and also have to have mandatory RECO insurance. This insurance includes deposit insurance and errors and omissions insurance. In other words, this insurance covers your deposit if there's any problem with the deposit you send to the seller's brokerage when your offer is accepted. It also covers errors and omissions a realtor might make. If a clause in the offer document is incorrectly entered or omitted due to the realtor's mistake, this insurance will cover. Realtors must carry their RECO registration card with them at all times and be able to show them immediately upon request by the customer. For your reference, you can also search the RECO website to see if your realtor is registered with RECO. When you sign a contract with the realtor, you work with that realtor. That seems obvious. However, if you look at the contract documents closely, you are not signing a contract with that realtor personally. You sign a contract with the brokerage your realtor belongs to. The realtor will do all the actual work as a representative of the brokerage, yet the contract itself is between you and the brokerage company. For example, if you sign a contract to find a house with me, you are not making a contract with Peter Kim. You are making a contract with the Right at Home brokerage, the brokerage company that I belong to. Of course, I will do all the work for you as a representative of Right at Home. So, what kind of contractual relationship can be established with the realtor? There are 2 cases: client or customer. When you work with the realtor, you are either a client or a customer from the perspective of the realtor. If you ask me about the real estate market and I just answer your questions, or if I just show houses without signing any agreement, the relationship between you and me is a customer relationship, because fiduciary legal relationship has not been established. However, if you sign a document called Buyer Representation Agreement as for buyers and Listing Agreement as for sellers, a client relationship is established. The so-called fiduciary relationship has been created. With the fiduciary relationship in place, I have a duty to first, protect the interest of you. Second, do what is best for you. Third, must not disclose your confidential information to others. The next section describes multiple representation. Let's say I help you put an offer on a certain house and the seller's realtor is from the same company as my brokerage. Even if I do not know the seller's realtor personally, it is a multiple representation because the same brokerage, in this case, Right at Home brokerage, represent the buyer and the seller at the same time. In a multiple representation situation, realtors are obliged to inform clients of the multiple representation situation before placing an offer officially. You might ask, why are you so eager to explain multiple representation in the working with the realtor document? Because with the multiple representation, there's more places where you need to initial and sign. In a multiple representation situation, the listing brokerage must be impartial and equally protect the interest of the sellers and the buyers in this transaction. The brokerage has a duty of a full disclosure to both the sellers and the buyer. You can think of it as a safeguard for a fair transaction in the real estate market. Next is the critical information section. Realtor has an obligation to inform his or her clients of facts that might affect the real estate transaction. If you are trying to put an offer on a house and the realtor finds out that there has been a suicide in the house, he or she must inform his or her clients of the fact. And when a house comes out on a market that meets client's criteria, then it's realtor's obligation to inform the client, even if the commission for that house is smaller than that of other houses. Please tell your realtors what you consider important in your future home. Do you need a double garage? Do you want a good elementary school nearby? Talk to your realtor, even the smallest things that could affect your transaction. Teamwork is very important whenever more than two people work together. Buying or selling a house is a very stressful process. If you have a good teamwork with your realtor, you will have less stress. Please don't assume that your realtor would know what you are not telling. Lastly, if there is something you do not understand, even if it is trivial, be sure to ask your realtor. Realtor has an obligation to find answers to your questions and provide them with sincerity. If you understand this form and decided to work with the realtor, you will initial and sign down here. You will also need to sign a separate document called the buyer representation agreement or listing agreement, which I will explain in later videos. Thank you.